Hello, and welcome to another edition of Medicare Simplified with your host, Dave Miller.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Medicare Simplified. I'm your host, Dave Miller. And today we're going to pick up where we left off with Greg, talking about changes in Medicare Part D for next year, 2025. So I'm not going to say any more. Let's just jump right back in where we left off.
But it's going to be a big shift because now the cost is coming to us as the carrier, and not a lot of it was bared by Medicare itself or the pharmaceutical company. So, the challenge is going to be how do you spread that cost out? Insurance is about spreading cost, and it's not about necessarily going to save anyone money unless you are really a high utilizer of brands or really expensive medications. Then this program itself will be a great help for those individuals.
Which was what I was about to ask you. People that are on one or two generics really aren't going to benefit much, but would you say
Correct.
someone who's got like two or three name brands or maybe a tier 4 drug, those are the ones that are really going to benefit the most from this?
That is correct. The cap where we would say would benefit the most is if your retail drug costs are about $600 a month. So when I say retail, it's not what you're paying, right? It's the total cost of that medication. So if you want to look at your medications as a senior, if you pull your scripts out and say, oh, here's my receipt, here's what the total cost was. If you're up above 600, I think this is a program that may make sense for you. And I say may because there is some nuance to it that you have to write a check monthly. You have to set up you set up a payment plan. So that some people may not want to worry about that and just pay at time of point of sale, right? When you're at the pharmacy itself. So, or if you get extra help, right? In the state of Pennsylvania, you have PACE or PACEnet for seniors to get extra help for their medications. Or if you're on low income subsidy, which is Medicare's assistance program for seniors to pay for medications, those programs would not necessarily make sense because you're low out of pocket costs. So even though you have high drug costs, they cap it under those programs.
So this is going to be a major league logistical nightmare for every company who offers MAPD in standalone drug plans. We're talking logistical nightmare, new software implementation, training. What kind of, am I nailing it on the head or?
Oh yes, it's expensive overall. It's an operational challenge, right? That every carrier has to be ready, this fall to move forward, and we will be. We have to, there's going to be requirements of us notifying beneficiaries of our plan or any carrier who has beneficiaries on their plan. They need to be notified by phone call, in lettered, mail as well of you could be eligible for this program. So there's going to be some guidance around there. So we're going to be making outbound calls to members. Dave, we probably use agents like yourself. If we need support there to reach out to your membership block with us as a carrier, to say, hey, there's some beneficiaries of yours that could use this benefit. So it's going to be a team effort. It is not going to be easy. The other piece is the pharmacy itself. So your already stressed pharmacist, they're going to be responsible for educating members as well who could qualify or would benefit from the program. So they're going to get hit, like I said, TV, phone, pharmacy. So you'll know, and you as an agent. So it's going to be a lot.
I'm thinking if I get a prescription in January, February, I pick up 2 prescriptions, regardless tier 1, 2, 3, 4. My payment every month is going to be recalculated.
Correct.
And I am going to pay more and more and more as I get more prescriptions. What happens if somebody can't meet that payment? Are you going to cut them off? You wouldn't do that.
Great question. So there is going to be rules around it. I think there'll be more information. Each carrier will handle it differently. It is possible that you would be not in the program anymore. You'd still be covered under the plan. But at time of sale, the next time you go to the pharmacy, it would reapply to your old benefit structure where that copay or co-insurance, or if you're still in the deductible phase, would apply. So there'll be some more information as it comes out of how we handle those. But it is possible to get in the program and jump out of the program as well.
So I'm getting a prescription. I got Eliquis in May. I'm already making payments of, let's say, $42 a month. I'm just making something up without doing any math.
Yeah.
Now I got to get my Xarelto and my whatever med. And now that's going to jack my payments up to $74 a month. And I'm already limited income, as all seniors are. And some seniors, you know, they're living the good. Others are struggling even today. So would they go back to a $43 tier 3 copay, $100 tier 4 copay? Would that happen? Or would they go to the billing and just have to make payments on the payments?
They'd make payments on the payments. And the nice part about it is if that was I think you mentioned $42 copay, that $42 copay would be spread amongst the remaining months. So it may only be $5 for that one medication. So the biggest jump typically happens at the end of the year, or if you have a really expensive medication and it's October, your November and December monthly statement could be rather large. There's going to be some nuance to that, but you can see how it can ramp up throughout the rest of the year because it's just adding in monthly the new medications that you're taking. So, but again, your total cap for the year, right, is still $2,000. So that's still something to just always remember. You know, regardless if it happens in the beginning of the year or the end of the year, the most you'd ever spend is $2,000.
So I'm paying 25%.
Mm-hmm.
So a drug for $500 is $125.
Mm-hmm.
So it's let's say I get a 90-day supply and it's $500 is what the drug is for 90 days, the retail side. I get my bill in the mail. I can just write a check for $125, right?
You could, you'd probably be paying more then, right? Because that say that 500 would be spread across 11 months. But yes, you could pay more. You could set it up where you're paying what you've been, as long as you're meeting the minimum that's being required of you. So
that's what I'm saying. So like if you're going to bill me $50 a month for 5 months, that's $250. I can just write a check for $250 and be done with it, right?
Absolutely. Yep.
I'm sure you wouldn't mind that at all.
Absolutely. That is correct.
But again, some people won't be able to do that. But tier copays like tier 1, 0, tier 2, $5, tier 3, $45, tier 4, $100, that's gone come January 1st. Correct?
So for this program, there'll be some Part D changes, I'm assuming, across all carriers because to account for the caps and the additional responsibility the carrier has for medications. Because to go from responsibilities where you could spend a lot more money to capping at $2,000. And Medicare will hopefully be funding more, right? We're still in the bid cycle. But yeah, the look at your, every fall, as you shop for Medicare insurance or review your benefit changes, look to see how your drug program has evolved. Is it still co-pays? Is it co-insurance? Is there deductibles now? And how's that going to work with the medications that you're on? So.
You think more companies with MAPD, or I know most standalone drug plans, a lot of them do have a deductible, but do you think MAPD plans are going to start putting some amount, maybe not the $590, but put some amount of a deductible on the MAPD plans now?
There's definitely discussion around that. As the industry meetings that we all join, it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. But it's only getting more expensive, right, to administer the program. I wouldn't be surprised if you start seeing more, at least initial out of pocket, for the beginning of the year. But hopefully overall it's manageable, right? It's something that it's still a very competitive marketplace for Medicare. Every carrier wants the senior member, and retention's key in keeping everyone happy and healthy. That's our goal overall, is to maximize the amount of dollars CMS has for each beneficiary. So So yeah, it's a balancing act.
Well, everyone, that's the end of part 2. Part 3 coming up on the next edition. I hope you've been taking a lot of notes, getting a lot of good information. Please feel free to reach out to me, Dave at mig4u.net, if you have any questions. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on that little notification so you know when part 3 comes out. And anyone who is 65, you have part A but delayed entering in part B. When I finish this 3-part series, I got a special edition just for you. You want to make sure you watch it. If you have friends who have part A only and haven't gotten part B yet, please have them watch this edition coming up. It's very important. It is a lot of changes coming on with Medicare, and they do not want to miss this because it could affect them in an adverse way if they do. Again, I look forward to talking with you again soon and continuing our journey and this interview with Greg. Have a great day. If you've enjoyed this podcast and don't want to miss future episodes of Medicare Simplified with me, Dave Miller, please subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. And don't forget to check out my book, Medicare Ready, Set, Go, available on Amazon in paperback and Kindle format. If you're looking for Medicare advice, please reach out to me at dave@mig4u.net or online at mig4u.net.